well, in the bottom right spawn location, we do have that very same Mana playing for Mouse Sports, representing Poland. He's a red Protoss player. He needs to win this to keep himself in this winner's match. His opponent, in the top left spawn location, needs only one more win to advance with a 4-0 scoreline in this group. He's going to be our French player playing for Vega Squadron, our Blue Zerg player, Firecake.
He's got to try and secure up that third relatively quickly, because two-base all-ins as Zerg players don't usually work out too well.
Now, you're right, he is on 2-base, and I want to point out that's actually kind of interesting for Firecake, because it's the first time we've seen him stay on 2-base for a while. On the other hand, though, he's making additional queens, which makes me think that he wants to be going for potentially something Hydra-based. This is going to help him get out a lot more creep spread as he goes forward, and of course Hydras benefit greatly from creep. He does have a third base queued up to come down now, so it's not super late. It's going to be a little bit later than he might have otherwise wanted it, but...
Zealots patiently waiting.
I think he wanted to warp in 4 there, got a bit supply block there. As a result, though, when these pylons finish up, he can actually go up to 6 if he wants, which will really allow him to do quite a bit of damage here. He's going up to 5 already. Mother's Core coming in to assist, has 2 time warps if it needs, also a time warp and a recall if he needed. There's not really that many units here. There's speed on the Lings, but there's like 4 Lings. A few more Roaches did just pop. 3 Roaches to be exact. 2 Queens coming in. They do have transfuses, but it looks like this hatchery is going to be forced to be cancel metals.
Yep, cancel goes down, and once again Firecake is left back on 2 bases. The mass recall, very strong. That was a very efficient trade for Mana.
Yeah. This is going to be a double Forge build, though. So, second Forge coming on out. So double upgrade's going to be on the cards for our Protoss player. That's definitely going to get him a nice advantage against the Zerg player, who really only has 1 evolution chamber. Doesn't really look like he wants to add a second one. A lot of players, when they go for the Roach play, will only go for single upgrades. They'll go for the attack upgrades rather than the armor upgrades. We're going to be seeing Swarm Hosts very, very soon. The Infestation Pit's done. There's no immediate Hive coming out. Enduring Locust hasn't started yet, but there's the 3 Swarm Hosts. And these Spines, they're not really serving much of a purpose right now, but what they are is they are a beginning to the inevitable massive wall of static defense. The Great Wall of Spina, if you will, that Firecake will be setting up to keep his Swarm Hosts alive and allow them to trade incredibly efficiently as this game goes on.
Mana easing forward slowly, now moving on to Creed. Didn't want to reveal too soon that he's got an army there. The Locust, though, should mean that this army turns back. Zealot's going down. You can't trade without AoE against Swarm Hosts in any kind of cost-effective manner.
Yeah, the problem for Mana now, though, is that Firecake is so good at controlling a Swarm Host-based composition. If he gets up to more and more Swarm Hosts, it's going to be so difficult to break him, even with the AoE. And, oh god, no, the Locust coming in dealing a lot of damage. One of those Stalkers goes down immediately. The rest of the army escapes with their lives or the recall, but Mana, usually this is a position where the Protoss is pretty comfortable. 3-base against 3-base, I have good economy, my units are generally stronger, but against Swarm Hosts, you're not as comfortable, because the Zerg can trade so cost efficiently this whole game long. I mean, Firecake could hypothetically just stick on these 4 bases for a hugely long time, because the idea is that the Zerg doesn't want to be losing supply. They don't want to be remaxing. They just the reason they don't want to be remaxing is because they don't want to be losing anything. The thing for Firecake, though, and this actually makes a lot more sense as to why he was not going for any armor upgrades earlier, is that he's going for Swarm Hosts, and you don't want Swarm Hosts to be taking damage. The idea is that the armor upgrade is not so relevant because the Locusts die themselves after a period of time anyway. You just want them to be able to put out as much damage as physically possible while they're still doing damage. And this is not a kind of composition where he needs to transition into Ultralisks or anything that needs the armor upgrades. What he could do is go into Broodlords, but even then the armor upgrades for ground not going to help that much. So there's the Spire nearing completion. Hive is done. I think we'll be seeing a Greater Spire coming out of there. Maybe not immediately. He may go for Corruptors first, but it is definitely possible that we'll see a Greater Spire coming out sooner or later from our Protoss player.
Now a couple of Vipers
A
couple of Vipers being added, and I really like. He tried to abduct the Mothership Core.
Yeah, that would have canceled the recall, I think.
He just got it off as the recall went down. It was literally, if it was half a second sooner, it wouldn't have happened.
I don't play this kind of style, so unfortunately my knowledge isn't as good as it would be for other Zerg styles, but I'm pretty sure it cancels the recall, or at least recalls just over different units since it's further away. But basically, Mana's doing his best to be as aggressive as possible here. He gets another reasonable trade there. Zealots trading with Roaches. Actually killing some of them. But the Greater Spire is done. There's Broodlords on the way, 5 of them. And Mana, the problem now is that this kind of a composition is very, very difficult to deal with. It's not so much that... I mean, we had a sort of phase in Wings of Liberty where everyone was complaining that Protoss was about the Death Ball. You couldn't kill the Death Ball. This is kind of the Zerg equivalent. It's not really a ball, but you can't really kill this unless
it's more like an oak sim. There's just waves and waves and waves that never end.
Free, but another wave of Locusts has just spawned. We'll be able to zone some of these units out for free. The Broodlord's coming on board. There's nothing to deal with the Broodlord's Mattles. He has to retreat. Will he recall? He does, but he misses some of the Stalkers. They will be able to escape by the looks of it with their blink. One of them dies. But, I mean, I think that was the first time he actually saw the Broodlords, and as a result, he is going to be going for Tempest. He'll be able to focus down the Broodlords pretty quickly. Tempests do a ton of damage against Broodlords. Have that massive sort of set of static defense coming on in. We're up to 20 Spines, 7 more in production, 8 Spores. And, God, this army looks so scary. He's got 5 Vipers, a whole bunch of Corruptors, 15, I believe. Yeah, 15 Corruptors, 7 Broodlords, and 14 Swarm Hosts. That's so many free units.
It is a lot of free units. Just need some Infested Terrans in there.
Yeah.
And as I say that...
As I say that. Yes.
Star
He figured as well. He's like, wow, I mean, free units are kind of good. I'm getting pretty good trades so far this game. Okay, speaking of trades, how do you tell if somebody is winning in this game? This kind of a game comes down to the most important tab in this game is the units lost, the resources lost. So far, it's actually looking okay for Mana. Mana's lost about 3,000 resources more, but that's not so bad against this. The Zerg pretty much wants to kill so many more resources than he's losing that no matter how many faces the Protoss gets up, he's just throwing away so many minerals that he just, like, so many minerals and more importantly gas that he just won't have any left eventually.
But yeah, upgrades are currently looking amazing for Firecake. I don't know if we've taken a look at the upgrade tab recently, but they have literally upgraded all the things.
Yeah, but more importantly, last time we looked at the resources lost tab, I pointed out that Mana had only lost 3,000 more. It's now up to 10,000 more medals.
Yeah, that's big, but it's still not crazy. Do you remember when... This is nostalgia time. Back in Heart of the Swarm beta, when Swarm Host first came in.
Oh no.
I watched a ZVP there, where I'm not even kidding. The Zerg player lost 4,000 resources. The Protoss player had lost 47,000.
It's like someone doesn't really know how to deal with Swarm Hosts. Nah. Well, you know, Mana, speaking of dealing with Swarm Hosts, he's playing the right way. He's getting a lot of base. He's getting a big bank. But the problem now is that minerals don't really matter that much to the Protoss. He's got so many minerals. But you know, Zealots just aren't good against this composition. They die very fast to Locusts. They obviously can't hit Broodlords or Corruptors. And it just...
The Queen is actually trying to kill a Nexus. Sorry to interrupt you there.
I would have loved to see that actually happen. And one more getting very, very low. But the thing is, this is just so frustrating to watch from from Mana's perspective, because what's he meant to do here? There's only 50 workers on the map for Firecake, and honestly, Firecake could probably make some more of those into static defense and not really need anything because he's got 6k gas. He's losing so little that his bank is just getting unbelievably out of hand.
The Void Rays are slowly trying to make their way through.
Oh, the Templar, one more goes down.
That's frustrating. You can't afford to be losing those. You need the storms against this. You so do.
You kind of need it's. Oh,
you need everything.
Yeah, you need the everything. We have another Oracle coming out to replace the one that died, and this is really nice. I like the constant Oracle production so that he can always use Revelation on this army, just so he knows who the air army is.
It's very frustrating, if nothing else. It's one of those games for Mana where he has to get the best engagement imaginable. And the longer this game goes on, the harder it'll be for him. I do still think, though, that Firecake should start losing some more drones. I mean, he's got 12,000 minutes.
He's making 7 spines at the moment, and that's where he needs to lose the drones. He needs to make more static defense as time goes on. He doesn't necessarily need them right now, but as we're seeing, his bank is now up to 12k, 8k. He's going to be able to replenish everything so fast. Abduct on that DT. He's slowly abducting it, one abduct at a time, towards the Swarm Hosts. That was the most energy expensive abduct on a DT ever. 3 abducts to kill that DT, but hey, he has so many Vipers, it doesn't even matter.
It was fun to watch. That should be on like a Starcraft 2 highlights moment. How to kill a Dark Templar in the most annoying way possible.
Let me actually check. Alright. There's no level 3 armor for air.
Slacking.
Phoenix range has been upgraded, despite not seeing a single Phoenix this game. I actually like that in case there's a weird Muta switch that comes. Shields are now fully upgraded. I'm not too surprised by that.
Nope, makes
where's
sense.
the Robo Bay? We don't have Warp Prism speed. Observer speed, however, is upgraded. Other than that, I think that actually rounds it up. So he's missing +3 air shield, +3 air armor, and Warp Prism speed. The Zerg, on the other hand, is missing drops,
No drop check, that is correct.
neural parasite, and adrenal glands. And probably chitinous plating because he doesn't have an ultimate scatter.
Yep, kind of, but I'd agree. Those were all definitely missing. So this is the sort of game where if there was a turn, we'd even see Neo steal frame.
Yeah, we'd be like, oh yeah, 6 people in bunkers? Yeah.
Wouldn't help against Swarm Host either, though.
No. It would help the Marines' morale. They'd just feel a little safer.
At least they could talk about their impending death. Like, it's the best size of a group, isn't it? 6. Like, anything over 6, you end up with splinter groups.
Yeah, that's
6
true.
is like the optimal amount.
Alright, we have a bit of action coming in. Another little push. Good revelation going down, and then here we go. I mean, once again, Mana's warded off, does no damage. Oh, okay. That was actually okay, because he killed a Viper at the cost of 2 Void Rays. So, cost efficiently, still slightly in Firecake's favor, but not as bad as it should have been.
Equal trade. That's actually good for mana.
As long as those were spines, in which...
Penguin, there is a mothership coming out. There is genuinely a mothership.
And +3 air armor, so he's getting rid of some... He now needs only Warp Prism speed, and he has every upgrade. And even if he loses this game, he will have won my heart.
I don't remember the last time I saw a mothership. I don't think I've seen the ship in Heart of the Swarm.
The only times I've ever seen a mothership in Heart of the Swarm is against mass swarm hosts, and I like it, because honestly... let's just take a look at the units. Yeah, Firecake's too good at this style. He has 9 Overseers. He's not going to lose his Overseers. It's hard for us with this game to keep it going.
Especially,
But
the only time I've had a harder time casting was it was at an offline event, and it was a PvP game where, I kid you not, for 23 minutes, everything happened identically. Like, the same units lost, the same buildings, at the same time, the same probe count.
But see, that actually sounds really cool because it's just so weird. Whereas, like, I think it was season 2, there was a game between Goody and I can't remember who it was, but there was like, it was literally that I think Nate and I were casting, Nathanius and I were casting, and it was like an hour and 40 minutes of just swarm hosts pushing into tanks and the tanks just killing all the locusts. And there was a tank, I think, that got up to like 347 kills or something. Needless to say, that was on Reddit, but okay, let's just check everything again. Resources lost almost the same. Mana's lost a couple thousand more in attempted zealot run bys. It really doesn't make that much of a difference because he has so much money as far as actual bank for minerals. This mothership is just kind of posturing, and I mean, I think Mana's just trying to figure out what his best option is, and that's kind of one of the benefits of this kind of game. You actually have a little bit more breathing room to just sit back.
You could make a pros and cons chart of this game.
Yeah, like
you literally sit there. Should I push? Pros. And then just sit there. It's like you could mind map it. You could make flow charts. Seriously, you could write a dissertation on the bloody thing.
All right, Maddles. How many spores do you think are on the map right now?
I reckon there is now 30.
Exactly 30. You're cheating.
Really? Did I get it right?
How many spines?
Okay,
Quickly,
I reckon 60.
46, but now there's going to be less. Broodlord's coming in to try to help defend this spine line. The Zealots not trading all too efficiently. 2 spines go down for the cost of, I believe, 9 Zealots. No, it appears it was only 6 or only 8 Zealots, but... Oh my... Okay, those... Jeez, the shields and the armor upgrade. Zealots just don't take much damage from static defense anymore. Fungal goes down. They'll all die. He still has 24,000 resources. We could be here for a while, guys.
This is definitely one of these games where it will last. Okay, interesting fact. How many more minerals are remaining on the map?
Alright, before we answer that, first of all, I would like to give a shout out to Xylo Silent, or Xylo Scient, who actually is right. Beer greater than tea, greater than coffee. I can agree with that.
See, I would put tea greater than beer, greater than coffee.
Alright, so basically what I've done now is I have calculator open, and I'm gonna go around and calculate exactly how many minerals are left. If something happens, interrupt me and I'll come back to the Starcraft.
Okay. I'll continue saying how pretty it is. It's a good job that, like, all of us in here doing a really good job of, like, managing to not lag out with all the cloak and things like that. That is a positive thing. Back in Wings of Liberty, before computers had advanced this level, this would have been causing mass lag anywhere. Like, credit to Blizzard for creating a game engine that is a lot more refined now, that it's able to animate this in such a sophisticated way.
The army tab and see how much his army's worth. Okay, no, his army is currently worth the value of both of the armies right now is 10,000, 8,000 for Mana and 13,000, 10,000 for Firecake. Looks like Mana will be able to pick off the 6th base though. That's a little bit of a win. It'll shut down some of the income for Firecake for a while, but minerals are just so not an issue right now. I don't know if that's really worth it.
Looking at the army tab as well, we can actually say confidently that Firecake could remake everything that he currently has.
Yes.
And he's also got 103 lava, so I think he could do that in one production cycle.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, now I do want to actually update you guys on the resources lost. A couple thousand more have been lost for Firecake, as well as 3,000 or 4,000 more for Mana. It's sitting at 13,131 for Firecake to 37,775 for Mana. And we have some more oracles on the way. He's going to continue with the revelation here, and I like that. There's one on the map already. The mothership somehow still alive, has not been abducted. What can the mothership actually do right now? It can recall, cool, and time warp, so it has the same abilities. It's just big and fat and easier to abduct.
Has more lasers as well.
Yeah, it's true. It looks cooler.
Oh yeah, you can. Damn, I've seen it now.
Wow,
Sorry.
what the hell?
Well, no, because I was like, can you? Can you really? It's not. It's something I've never looked at.
Me how?
I could have done that, but I was kind of in confusion. So, okay, it's 63. That is not that many, to be fair. Oh wait, actually, no, he got. Is Mana going for it? He gets abducted by a couple of things. Wait. Okay, he runs away, but the mothership gets killed.
No! That's actually going to cost 500 resources to remake. Or does it only cost 300 to upgrade it now? I have no idea. He makes these units.
Just walk changelings. Oh, a Nexus may die. A Nexus is going to die. Okay, this is the most exciting thing to happen in like half an hour. Okay, so no focus fire is currently being utilized, but the DPS from these infested Terrans should be more than adequate to do this. Mana is not even attempting to save this Nexus. That means that he's going to miss out on a couple of hundred potential minerals.
Dude, he's going to miss out on Chrono Boost. All right, no looking. How many Chrono Boosts do you think Mana has available at this moment?
I'm going to go with 30.
The maximum is 20, but he has 19. I'm interested to see what he actually Chrono Boosted.
Okay, never mind. Also, have you noticed Mana isn't maxed out? He's just sitting here with like 187 supply. Okay, so there needs to be a conclusion to this somehow.
Well, there is a conclusion to this. I just think Mana doesn't want to admit what it is. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I think everyone watching knows who's gonna win this game. But Mana is slowly starving. On the plus side for him, he can still afford to warp in 137 more zealots. And he will kill a hatchery! Hatchery in the main base going down, which actually literally does nothing because the hatchery couldn't have actually spawned more larvae because it's on its maximum. Actually, really cool splitting of the zealots to take up as much of the infestor energy as physically possible. Unfortunately, Firecake doesn't really care. Like, I want to actually say, this game is not the most entertaining game we've ever seen, to say the least, but these players are both actually playing really well.
They are playing exactly as they should be, at least for the last hour.
Well, they're playing as they should be if they want to win. I don't know if the viewers would agree. This is how they should play.
I don't see. Like, I really just feel that perhaps Firecake should slowly start moving his static defense forward. Like, just ever so slowly creeping it, like, try and back.
No, because the thing is, I think that's the reason Mana keeps killing the creep.
Yeah.
With the custom UI, but I don't use the custom UI, so...
I use that, so, okay.
Alright, so, give me something.
21 Tempests have died.
Oh my god.
139 Zealots, 11 Dark Templar, 7 Colossi, 31 Voidways.
How many Mothership Cores?
Only 2.
What?
Yeah. I'm quite surprised at that. 10 Broodlords, 14 Swarm Hosts, 17 Infestors, 15 Vipers, 8 Queens, 89 Lava, apparently, but I'm guessing that's rolled over into, like, the thousands, which is where it goes wrong. Yeah, only 20 Roaches.
I think there are, like, the current rules for bathroom breaks are that after 3 games in a series, you can take a bathroom break. So, for instance, Stardust versus Happy was a best of 3, but they had to play a 4th game because of a tie. Stardust was able to go to the bathroom after the 3rd game. I think they would have an exception for a 2-hour-long game.
I think they'd have to.
Okay, Ask Joshi has tweeted that the longest pro games he could find were 127 in IPL and 132 in GSL. So I think we definitely have broken a record. Meanwhile, Infested Terrans killing an Nexus. That means less Chrono Boost available for Mana. And actually, Mana needs to rebuild a couple pylons with that money because he's now down to only 184 maximum supply.
I wonder which unit on the map has been stationary for the longest amount of time.
Oh, man. All right.
Like, not including buildings, obviously.
It's now past 25 past, so we can once again start updating people on resources lost. 52,550 for Mana, 19,281 for Firecake at the moment, which means some people are already wrong. What is the current APM? We have to check this every now and then. Mana's still sitting pretty at 255. Firecake's still sitting at about 153, although Mana's
that's current. Firecake's APM has actually increased. About 20 minutes ago, it was at 149.
I think Mana's slowly dying. He was sitting, like, his current APM, actually now it's up to 300, but it was sitting at around 150 for a while.
This is pretty impressive, actually. Like, I got 2 Zerglings, 2 Speedlings have made it into the main base. There is a Zealot there, though. The Zealot will win.
I love how that's the exciting moment.
If Mana realizes, yes, Mana has realized, the Zealot is coming. The Zerglings, Speedlings running away. This could go on for a while. Speedlings can indefinitely get away from a Zealot. The the cannon. Cannon nearly did it. Here he goes. Okay, the Speedlings have escaped with their life. They will heal up now over time.
Alright, does Firecake have Burrow? I can confirm Firecake has every single upgrade except Adrenal Glands,
Chitinous Plating.
Chitinous Plating. And Overlord drops.
And I think Mana actually has every upgrade.
No, he
doesn't have
speed.
Yeah.
Alright, more tweets. Blue Eye, XX Blue Eyes XX tweets, free pizza to the first person to GG this torture. They are just playing so long to set a record. I think they can GG by now then. Grey Wolf says, I'm putting off walking my dog for this. I went downstairs and he pooped in the house. I will refer to his poop as Firecakes. What?
That is just weird. That's just slightly scary.
It looks like if you look at an intensive Starcraft 2 game for 8 hours, you burn 125 calories.
The loser, sorry, yes. The loser.
Winner and match. How much would it suck to win this game? Be like, yes! If you're Firecake. Yes, I won!
Penguin, I've got an important announcement. Overlord drop is about to finish.
No way! Okay, 2 more upgrades left for Firecake. Who will complete all the upgrades first? I would say Firecake, because Mana actually needs his gas.
Yeah, I reckon Firecake will.
Mana had not gotten the useless upgrades like Anyan Pulse Crystals and Graviton Catapults. He could have 300 more gas. And why is he not building pylons?
I don't know why he's not making pylons.
People have run marathons in less time than this, tweeted by Gowerly. Yes.
People have.
What's a vampire's favorite fruit? This is by Decla O'Neill.
Observation by Chris Lodge. Those overlords generating creep. Where is the mass of that creep coming from? Oh, engagement! Engagement! The Void Race is going! They're actually moving forward. They're getting a good trade. They're killing quite a few Corruptors. But unfortunately, they get abducted into the Spore Coolers and Corruptors and more die.
Overall, not a bad trade. The problem is that Mana can't remake things because he's not making pylons! 26 Lings on the way. This is going to be nice to go kill buildings. And I think Mana may actually find himself dead to Ling run-bys. Also, I would like to read a couple of tweets.
After just getting up to 3 hours of this game, there really is little else we have to talk about. By little else, I mean pretty much nothing. We need outside information. This is kind of... I've just realized this must be what it was like, Penguin, for people before the internet existed, when there was, like, just nothing to do. If you lived in the countryside with no internet, this is what life was like. You just sit here and just be like, well, nothing's happening.
I'm trying to think of rhymes.
What rhymes with fathership?
Fathership, clearly.
I wonder if Starcraft Reddit, there's a thread about this yet.
There is. Many.
Many threads. End this is a Reddit thread. Oh my goodness. End this is a Reddit thread. That needs upvoting. I wonder if the end this tag will work on Twitter. I don't even know. I'm gonna try.
Alright, I have my 6 lines. Are you ready? Okay,
Yep.
no, I'm gonna do it as a poem, not as a rap.
Ah, that's cheating. You should rap.
Okay, we'll do it as a rap if you beatbox for me. We'll do it after this engagement, guys, I promise. I don't think this is gonna be game ending, because I honestly don't think Mana's gonna really push too far. But he is using a lot of energy up from Firecake. A lot more energy being expended here from our Zerg player. A couple of really good bugs going down. The Void Rays, though, are not actually dying, doing some pretty good damage here. Mana pushing forward, trying to do everything that he can to break through this finally, but Firecake is doing a very good job trading against this. Looks like Mana is forced to pull on back. There may just be too many Corruptors now. He may have enough to finish this game. The Mothership goes down. This looks like it might be the end, Mattles.
Is it going to be over? The Infested Terrans are coming down. Mass corruption on all of the Tempest. Things are dying. Firecake, he's pushing into it. Mana, he extended just a bit too far. The Corruptor count is still up at 15, but it's getting one-shotted every time those Tempests turn. But they are
on the way, Mattles. A Muta Remax.
A Muta Remax, so many coming out. This is definitely a win now for Firecake. He's gonna do it. He's gonna 2-0 the series.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, it did.
Alright, well, Mana plummeting in supply, guys. This game is finally going to come to an end, but I will still do my rap after this. Don't worry. Or my rap with Mattles beatboxing. Mana can't be happy. Congratulations! Firecake advances on, winning the group 2-0, 2-0. 3 hours, 3 minutes, and I think 54 seconds.
Wait, I'm gonna...
This game in StarCraft 2 history has come to a close.